There I am, on top of the roof, where it all started. All in the attempt to save Eugene. Naive and blissfully unaware of the trials and tribulations of saving Eugene and the ramifications of my actions. He is in a world of hurt and a world of torture. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's take a quick look back at how it all started and where we are now. One day I decided that I was going to save Eugene. I tried everything I could in the tutorial area, but there's a giant invisible wall. So eventually I had to come up with a different strategy. If you try to run, Charles kills you. If you use a train to try to outrun him, Eugene dies. I tried everything I could in the tutorial area, and then I got a crazy idea. The docks, giant invisible walls, and I figured I could use it to protect myself from Charles. And it worked, and was safe from Charles. Then something truly unexpected happened. Charles got stuck with me on the docks. So I quickly started formulating a plan on how to use this to my advantage. And then I enacted it. I trapped Charles and I ran.
So if I play dead, will you regret everything that you did, that you said? I don't think you understand what you're doing, and my heart's black and blue from the bruising.
Got to the train and rode it as fast as I possibly could. And amazingly, I was able to get enough scrap to increase my speed, get the flamethrower, and get the quest to start the egg hunt. And I was feeling pretty confident. I was even able to trap him again and get the egg from the cave. And there he was, Eugene was still alive. But that was just the beginning, and that was the easy part. Because what was going to come next was going to be a long, drawn-out, and torturous process, all in the attempt of trying to keep Eugene alive. One thing I want to cover before we continue with our journey to save Eugene is what happens when you capture Charles and what makes it so difficult to succeed in saving Eugene. There are about 5 outcomes that come from capturing Charles. 1. He gets stuck on the dock. He can get stuck in a few positions. If he's there, you have between 4 and 10 minutes to run or use the train to collect scrap or complete quests. 2. He kills you. 3. He just says nope and he runs off the map, which happens half of the time. And option 4 and 5, the most important for the run. It's when you get him onto the dock and then onto the beach, but on the opposite side of the invisible wall that surrounds the map. And you can do that on the left side or the right side, but the right side happens more than the left. And when he's on the beach on the opposite side of the invisible wall, he chases you, whether you're in the train or on foot. But what's ridiculous is if you walk next to him on the beach, he walks alongside you, and it looks like you're walking your pet. So if you ever really wanted your very own spider train demon thing for a pet, well, you're in luck. He loves walks on the beach. He'll follow you anywhere. The only problem is he bites your head off. Man, this game gets really wacky when you try to save Eugene. And little did I know just how broken Eugene makes this game. This run has pushed me to the breaking point. And one of the reasons it has is because it takes up to 5 to 20 minutes for one of these options to happen. And falling out of the map is half the time. Getting stuck on the dock is maybe 5%. The right side, which is not as important as the left side, happens 30% of the time, and the left side only happens 15% of the time. So that means hours on top of hours just hoping that Charles gets in the right spot that helps you finish this challenge. You better be worth it, Eugene. And hours of waiting is exactly what happened next. Try after try, no matter how many times we got close, he would find us. And even after running 1,000 meters, he would find us and he would get us. Now, one thing I have failed to mention is the reason why we have to wait for hours on top of hours is we have to get Charles stuck, is because the NPCs will not speak to us if Charles is around. They're too afraid and they hide. After hours and hours later, I finally got Charles on the left side. And after some assistance, which I'll thank later, I was able to walk Charles across the beach for a very long time, minding my step and watching where he went. And then I finally got to the right point, where I was able to go further into the mainland and make it to the quest markers. And as you can see in the map, you have to go at a pretty steep angle, so that way he still walks alongside the beach and doesn't disappear, because if you go too far into the mainland, he breaks through the invisible wall or he teleports, and that's when he gets you. And I was able to talk to the NPC, finish the bridge quest, and got to talk to him again, so I didn't have to wait another time just to talk to the NPC. I even made it to the last egg quest. That meant I no longer had to make my way up to the top of the map. 10 hours later, we only had 2 things left to do. Get the eggs, and get Charles. And change fate, and save Eugene. Ooh, but I did it. I finally got the last one. All I gotta do is get to the caves. It can be done. We can save them. They'll finally be done. Oh my gosh, I cannot even tell you how many days it's been. Oh my gosh, I finally did it. My heart's racing. Everything was so clenched during this part. Oh. Now for hopefully less than an hour, and it'll be done. Hopefully. Hopefully. Now, with the top of the map finished, it was time to get the last 2 eggs and face Choo-Choo Charles. To get to the caves while Charles is chasing you, you have to find the right spot, use the flamethrower, jump out, and run to the entrance of the cave. Sometimes you can only get to the door, and if you open the door, it stays open. And if you're lucky to get in, then you can go for the egg. And unfortunately, going for one of the eggs, I actually died. So I had to wait and try again. And the reason why that sucks, it's because you have to ride the train all the way across the map while Charles is chasing you and hope that you make it into the cave. And luckily, I was able to get it the second time. And lucky for me, the last egg was easy to get. 1 train ride, 1 run through the cave. With the last egg obtained, it was time to prepare the tracks to head to the temple. One of the things you have to do in this run is change the train tracks by using the switches, which means you have to ride the train and sacrifice yourself to turn 1 switch, and then ride the train again and turn another switch. And after getting Charles stuck, it was time to make my move and run to the temple. I was able to get Charles stuck for so long, I was able to run around the entire temple collecting scrap in preparation for the final fight with Charles. Before we see how this challenge ends, I just wanted to say a few things. 1, I cannot believe how many people have watched my last video. It is all so unreal. The subs, the comments, it's amazing. I never thought something like that would happen. And I'm just kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop, or like this is an elaborate prank. So thank you everybody, I'm extremely grateful, and I believe in giving thanks and gratitude to those in your life. And I always have a goodwill message in my video, and I guess for this one it is to be thankful to people in your life, to tell them you love them when you have the chance. So never leave something unsaid, because you never know what could happen. With all that said, this run would have taken even longer, which is insane to think about, without some assistance from a popular YouTuber and streamer named astralspiff. It was a pleasure to help him route this run, which he turned into a stream and a video, which I got shoutouts in, and here they are.
Thanks for doing this run. Yeah, Roxas was huge, chat. I wouldn't have done this if it weren't for Roxas, actually. Which, you know, wouldn't have necessarily been bad.
Now, you weren't here to hear me be all sentimental and sappy. You're here to see if we can save Eugene, our boy. Let's see what happens when we face Charles. Finally. Originally, we believed that Eugene can only get hit 3 times. However, we learned it's the train. The train can't drop below 80% or Eugene dies. And since Final Charles is the strongest Charles, we were in trouble. And unfortunately, we lost. Which meant we had to try again. And that meant capturing Charles or riding the train and jumping off and running for the temple. But jumping off and running for the temple was a bit trickier. And so, I tried again, and again, and again. With no luck, and then something truly bizarre happened. Something I can't quite explain. But I am working on a video, trying my best to understand what happened. It seemed I have entered a new dimension, or a new level, in Choo-Choo Charles, that I'm not even sure if the creator knows about. I know that sounds crazy, or it sounds like some kind of clickbait, but it's true. And I'm working on the video as we speak, so please look out for it, because it was an amazing find, and it was unbelievable. But my time in that dimension was truly beneficial, because it allowed me to max out my train, while still using no cheats. And that's why you see it in the fight. And so here is the final fight with Charles. Can we do it? Can we save Eugene, or Two-Gene? Because there's 2 of them. You get it? Let's find out. Go. We have saved Eugene from Choo-Choo Charles, and all it cost was my sanity. And this is my actual live reaction. I usually don't do them, but I knew when I finished this challenge, I was going to do one. Oh my god. Oh, it's finally over. It's like 7 days. Like 19 hours. Oh my god. If you're watching this, I promise you, this is horrible. It's torture. Alright, we did it. Eugene is saved. Oh, we did it. I'm gonna leave forever, guys. Alright, I'm going. It was lovely hanging out with you all. I'm done. I'm leaving. I'm serious. This is driving me crazy. I quit. I'm done. I'm gonna go outside and lay in the street. Oh god, it's finally over. And so we did it. 7 days and somewhere around 16 hours later, we have saved Eugene. And like I said in my live reaction, please don't do this. It very much is like torture. It's a test of patience, and it's not fun. It was exciting, but not fun. And I know I teased it again, but for real, look out for the next video. There's a whole new world to explore in Choo-Choo Charles. And like I always say, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're happy. And it's not what you've done or what's happened, it's what you do next that makes all the difference. Thanks for watching. I'm grateful for everyone. Have a good day. See you next time.